VS Code, hint, tip, and trick of the week. So you want to tell us about this, Brad, while I get my screen up?
Well, the show notes say JavaScript ES6 code snippets. This extension contains code snippets for JavaScript in ES6. Syntax for VS Code editor supports both JavaScript and TypeScript. See, there's no animated GIFs on the project page. How am I supposed to know what this extension does without any animated GIFs? That's the only way to document functionality.
Yep.
Every time I open up a VS Code extension that has a bunch of animated GIFs, all I can think of is a Ray Camden session once where he had an entire slide that said an animated GIF is not documentation.
Yeah.
And usually it is documented down below, but I always just I snicker at that.
Well, I mean, they've got some pretty cool little triggers, but I'm going to have to completely cover my wall in front of me with all these little cheat code snippet things because I never remember half of these. But of course,
that is part of the problem. I mean, even just the ones we have in our ColdFusion extension and the TestBox extension that have snippets for our stuff, I forget what's there, and then sometimes I'm typing along and without realizing it, I hit a snippet on accident and it throws a big chunk of code and I'm like, no, I didn't want that. No, go away.
I know. And then I'm like, wait, which of the 15 snippet extensions did that come from?
Yeah, because you're typing and it pops up a bunch of options and you're like, wait a minute, which one was it? That was the thing that I want.
Yeah, a lot of times now I'll push the F1 key to get up my little menu and then type snippet and then look, and you can sometimes get the previews of what it's going to give you too, which is
right.
Nice.
Yeah, that way you know what you're getting.
Yeah, but it looked like there was some good stuff in there, like the console log, console info, like CLG tab for console log. I should definitely install this module just for saving those keystrokes because, that's how I do it. Just like cfdump, console log. But the funny thing is, most people don't know about all the other different type of console ones you could have, like the groups and the table and the info and the time, and there's a bunch of cool stuff inside console alone, let alone all the other things. But they got the array for each, and the for loops and for ends and all those. So any snippets kind of cool, but to be honest, with Copilot, it just does it for me. So I can just type a little bit and push tab, and then like Adam said, it makes him look smart or dumb. I don't remember which one, but yeah. Anyways, so speaking of the chat here, dependency injection or whatever is why they wouldn't use 5 tags. Now, do they have dependency injection type stuff in the dev nexus, or would that just be too low level? Like everyone at Java is already using dependency injection, right?
Yeah, I mean, anybody doing so first of all, nobody writes Java web apps in just Java. They're all using a framework, right?
If you were Spring Boot and stuff.
I write Java, but I don't use a framework. They would all look at you like you're weird, right? And so they're all using something that has like Spring, just built in, like Spring Boot or whatever, Quarkus does for that. So it's kind of just a given in Java, at least from what I've seen, in many ways. But at least everybody's familiar with it. They're not like, what is this amazing concept that creates things for me? I mean, Java developers also use a lot of factory patterns, which is a bit more kind of, it's, I don't know if I'd call it DI. It's a small version of, inversion of control, but kind of, custom factors they like to build. So either way, it's a design pattern most Java developers seem to be familiar with and be familiar with using. But yeah, I don't know. It's a different community, that's for sure.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I just talked about MVC at CF Summit, and it was a big success because nobody was using one. Out of my session with 150 people or whatever, 4 people were using a framework. So the other 146 were either not using a framework at all, or they were using their own one they made and just didn't know it. So yeah. So I'm thinking if that many people aren't using MVC, then dependency injection could be a huge market. But would they know what it is? Maybe I should say why your code should be more like Applebee's restaurant than a cook it yourself restaurant, or I don't know, something. Come up with your Applebee's saying, Brad. You can wear your old costume, uniform, whatever. Could be fun.
Applebee's. You need to have my 17 pieces of flair.
Oh. Yep. Office space. That was our VS Code hint, tip, and trick of the week. Brought to you by Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition, proudly sponsored by Order Solutions. You can see the new episodes every week on cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io or on the Order Solutions YouTube channel.